Hi guys, just back from Oriel Park where we finished Dundalk 2, Sligo 1. Very good result for Dundalk. Cruising in first half really. I think Sligo didn't really have much chances, didn't really trouble the keeper at all, to be honest, throughout the entire game. But Dundalk having two pretty decent chances and converting both of them. Second goal especially was fantastic. Great bit of play by Stephen Bradley. Lovely weighted ball into Dickey, who just nutmegged the keeper to make it 2-0. Second half then Dundalk took the foot off the gas, didn't really press, didn't do much, tried one or two things really, but Mata getting a goal very late on to make it 2-1, but I think at that stage the game was already dead. It just kind of made it a wee bit more nerve-wracking the last couple of minutes of the game, but other than that, Sligo didn't really have much chances. There wasn't even a chance they had that they scored. It was kind of just a fluky goal, if I'm honest. But I think the Dundalk did well, and it's good to get a win there. Like, I was talking to a couple of people at the game that the two wins we've had, we were expected to win them, and you come up against a team like Sligo that maybe you're not expecting to beat, because like Sligo they're doing well enough, like they're in the range, so it's a harder game. And no disrespect to Finn Harps or UCD there, but you're not really always expecting to beat Sligo. But especially when you're Dundalk and you've been on these run of draws. But yeah, it was a great result, very good, positive result for Dundalk. And now move on to Monday night where we have Shamrock Rovers, and hopefully this time we can do right what we didn't do last time. We should have beat them last time. Let's hope this time we can beat them and bring the 3 points back home to Oriel Park. Thanks, lads.
Alright, everyone keeps asking me to do the post-match reaction for tonight's game between Rovers and Pats, the Southside Derby, or the Lewis Derby, as we hate it being called. It was a typical derby between Pats and Rovers, bit of a boring game. Good atmosphere from our end, and anyway, so now Pats had a relatively good atmosphere for about 20 minutes. Yeah, typical game between Rovers and Pats, just end to end, like over the past few years, just like typical of a game, just be like swinging one way one game, swinging another way another. Now, to be fair, we've only lost to Pats once in 4 years maybe. So like it's only ever swung in Pat's favour the last game. Rovers had a good few chances tonight that should have been converted, but they weren't. We had, in my opinion, a Stonewall penalty turned away in the first half. Can't remember the time, but I remember it was down the left-hand side and got absolutely, I think it was Cavo, and if it wasn't Cavo, it was Dano, got absolutely cleaned out of it in the Pats box and nothing was given. I've said it before on this channel and I say again, I think the refereeing standard in this league is absolutely appalling. I think that it's just not up to the standard it should be. Went into half time, it was 0-0. Pats had a few chances as well. Owen Doyle had about 2 or 3 chances in the first 15 minutes and didn't score any of them. Then Rovers got the one and only goal on the night from Rory Gaffney. A little bit of intrinsic play between the front line and the midfield from Rovers, and a little chip ball over into Rory Gaffney, who's headed in from close range against Joseph Anang. Rovers pushed for a second and he just didn't get it on the night. We had a good few chances to get it, but we just didn't. Overall, it was a pretty, like I said, a pretty boring game, but that's the way that these games between us and Pats go. That'll like just either take 1 or 2 goals to be either side. Like, for me personally, my one that I thought played well tonight was Sean Kavanagh, and I thought Jack, and funnily enough for myself, I'd never usually say this, but I thought Richie Towell had a very good game tonight. I think he's really come into himself the past few games and shown a bit of form that we hadn't seen last year. But I think that if I may have been a little underneath him for him to act like that, or to react like that to the past few games. For Pats on the night, it's not really, I'm not even trying to sound horrible saying this, but nobody really stood out to me. Like, obviously you usually have your Darrell Burns, your Gay Forrester, I know Jamie Lennon's out, but usually Jamie Lennon, James Mbankwe, like, there is stars in that Pats side, like, that there's no debating that there is very good League of Ireland, like, quality players in there, and even with Mbankwe, like, he's signed for Udinese now. But yeah, nobody really stood out for Pats tonight, genuinely. And even for Rovers, there was only about 3 or 4, and even it was great seeing Cavo getting his first start back. But yeah, all in all, good 3 points. Game on Monday against Dundalk and then Friday against Bows. Like I said a few weeks back before, I think it was the Harps game, or just before that, the Sligo game, I said that we need 12 points. And we've got, I said that after the Harps game, we need 12 points from the next 4, and we've got 6 so far, so there's another 2 games to go. Hopefully we can keep up with that form. But yeah, good result, good 3 points on the night. Good Galway Gaffney, good team in good form, and 3 points off the top now with that Derry loss tonight, which is quality. But yeah, great game, great atmosphere, and roll on Monday against Dundalk.
How's it going? Just back after the Drogs win over UCD 2-0 at the Belfield Bowl. Both halves, look, we are poor quality, but all that matters is the 3 points at the end of the day. Do you know? I think probably UCD actually were a better team in the first half. He had a lot more chances. We're probably lucky enough now that we were actually stayed in all in the first half. They had a good chance there on the wing. Took a deflection, went past Sam Long, but lucky enough it just went wide up the goal. And obviously the second half came in, and once he brought Ryan Brennan on the sub, it was like a little sort of spark to the quality and a spark to the team. Then Sean Brennan for UCD handball. It only it's to be fair now, it actually had if it actually hit, if it actually was outside the box or inside the box. But obviously Chris Lyne slotted into the bottom corner and we were 1-0 up. And then same again then for the second goal. Evan Whale came into the box and it sort of was like a Dale Rooney sort of cross in, came to Whale, and then Whale just put into the slotted in. So 2-0. Look at unbeaten in 5 now, thank God. The more points they grab, the better. Especially now Derry City losing as well to Shells tonight. Very surprising result as well. So we have Derry now Monday night at home. It'd be interesting to see how we get on. Obviously I'll take a draw, but after seeing the result tonight tonight against Shells, we might be getting better. You never know. But no, look, it's been good stuff from us tonight, and we roll on Monday night against Derry. If we can get more points, the better as well, and obviously Harps and UCD dropping points too. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Hi, how's it going, guys? I'm just jumping on quickly to give my after-match reaction to Shamrock Rovers and St. Pat's. Obviously, Rovers came out victorious, a 1-0 win, Rory Gaffney getting the goal. I'm actually recording this the morning after because, to be honest with you, if I was recording it last night, I probably would have said some stupid things in anger. But, yeah, Pats were poor in the second half, very, very poor. Didn't really offer much. It sounds weird, but sometimes we were playing in that second half like we were winning, like we were passing around the back and not looking for the final pass. There's people not pressing. It was a bit mad, I have to say. Very frustrating to watch. Rovers doing what they could to run down the clock, which is fair enough. Pats were on the other side, you'd be expecting it. Rovers held out brilliantly. They were really making the game frustrating, I guess, which is what they needed to do. But from a Pat's perspective, I'd want to be having a few questions now about the starting lineup, and maybe the likes of Tunde needs to be starting. Ongdo, we all know he has quality. We all know what he's done over in England, but since he's come here, he hasn't really hit the ground running, that's fair to say. I still think he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I think maybe starting Tunde for a game or two might give him a kick up the ass and let him know that you can't be complacent and expect to start every week. Who else? In the middle, it was nice to have Forrester back. I thought he played pretty well. He drifted in and out of the game, but from what I've heard, he's been out through illness for the past week, so I'll give him a free hit this week anyway. But on a positive note, a few players came on and they're doing well. I thought McKelland, although he isn't a midfielder, he gave a dig out again. He always gives 100%. I thought Joe Redden was very good at the back. Joey Anang didn't really have much to do, can't be blamed for the goal. I saw a few people online complaining about Tim Clancy, and I've even saw people saying that he should be sacked, which is ludicrous, I have to say. Sacking the manager after a 1-0 loss to Shamrock Rovers. It's crazy, and these are probably the same people that will be saying that we're going to challenge for leagues and everything if we beat UCD on Monday. So it just shows you how short-lived wins and losses really are in the league. And I think it's crazy. I still have the utmost faith in Tim. I think there's some things that the manager gets blamed for. This is at every club now. That is completely out of his control. Like, if a player does not press a football, it's on the player, in my opinion, not the manager. Anyway, guys, hopefully whoever's doing this for Pats on Monday will be a bit happier than me. But cheers for watching, guys. Thanks.
Final score this evening from Dundalk Park, Bohemians 2, Harps 2. For all in the match from start to finish, Harps took the lead in the first half with Filip Mihailovic after McWoods got sent off, and after I think it was 7 minutes for a very controversial decision on the back. He raised his hands to turn Wilson, but I thought Wilson made a big deal of it, so it should have been a yellow card. As it says, Filip got 2 goals now in 2 games for us, so hopefully he'll kick on. Second half, Bows came out of the blocks very fast and scored 2 quick goals in succession. One from Ali Kut, and the other one, I can't actually remember who it was, but 2 quick goals. Then Harps went down to 9 men. Rainey got sent off for a second offence. And then before that, Harps, Ollie Horgan made 3 substitutions at one time. Bashan Hiri, Yo-Yo Madi and Mark Tamlin, who came up with the equaliser in the 94th minute. It was a brilliant performance by the lads, battling point. Overall, big game now, start on Monday night against Sligo Rovers, a derby match. We need to start picking up home ones to move up the table after Shelbourne beating Derry City 2-1, and also Drogheda beating UCD as well. Wonderful result, wonderful performance. Bring on the bit of red now on Monday night. Mark Tillman, get in, you beauty. Up the Harps!
Full time, and it's Blues 0, Galway 1, and there's so many places I could start. First of all, the result. I mean, Galway had 2 other great chances to score in the game, but aside from that, didn't really create much. I think they wouldn't have scored more than 1, but at the same time, the result doesn't reflect the game. Galway were miles better than us. You know, they played the same sort of hoofball that you'd expect out of John Caulfield, that we played as well. But the difference between the 2 teams was that they were organised. They went out there, they looked like a team that knew what they were doing. And John Caulfield, when there was a player who wasn't doing what he asked of them, got animated. He shouted at them to do something. Ian Morris, by contrast, just didn't look like he wanted to be there. It was like he was a spectator. Most of the fucking fans that were watching the game seemed more animated than he was. I don't know what's going through his head when he watches that and thinks it's okay. Let's break this down. I mean, I think I've collected my thoughts enough to actually sort them in order. Let's start with the team selection. First of all, putting the midfield 3 that he's putting out there, that doesn't work. It's far too light. Personally, I take off Yaz, but you can't play those 3 players in there. If he wants to take off Griff, I disagree with that. I think that of those 3, Yaz is the weakest link, and that's why he came off tonight. But you need to put on a player that wins the ball. Put on a player like Callum Stringer. You know, why is he not getting a game? He can't be. He can't do a worse job than that. The other thing as well, if he wants to play the hoofball, I mean, at least don't play Cian Kavanagh up there, because that's not the job he's comfortable doing. You know, that's not on him. That's like he's being asked to do something he can't do. The other thing is like the tactics, if there are tactics. I remember one time a fan gave out about the way Leeds were playing, and Marcelo Bielsa sat him down and in detail for 20 minutes talked about the tactics. I don't think Morris could talk for 20 seconds about what the tactics are. I don't think they exist. I don't think they do tactics. I mean, it looked like those players were 11 players who'd never met each other before and were sort of meeting up for a junior league game. I mean, we do more tactical preparation in junior league than that. the other thing as well, as I said before, the passion, like, you gotta show some bit of enthusiasm or some bit of desire to not lose the game. I coach under 12s girls football, like, and I show miles more enthusiasm than that, like, on the sideline. You've got to show that you want to be here. If you didn't want to be here, why did you take the job? I mean, most of the fans want Morris out now, and I'm among them. I've never seen a Waterford manager be booed off at home before, and this is the first time, and I thought it was 100% justified. Things are going very, very bad. Like, this is near the levels of Sheedy and Newell, and I would predict that he's going to be gone by the end of the break, whether he chooses to walk or whether he's sacked. Richie Forrest has a big decision to make, and I hope he makes the right call.
Alright folks, disappointing result tonight from the Brandywell. Apologies that I didn't record this in the Brandywell. We got a wee bit sidetracked on my way out. Look, very good first half as for Derry concerned. Took the lead, created a few chances, took the lead, and within half time 1-0 full of confidence. Second half, Shelbourne came out, absolutely bossed it from start to finish, and totally deserved their win. Derry were a wee bit complacent for the Shelbourne equaliser. Brandon Kavanagh getting caught in the ball, and a great through ball and a great finish by Shane Farrell. Derry then thought they'd retaken the lead, but the linesman had his flag up against Jamie McGonigal after Cameron McJanet had headed home a corner. Then a few minutes later, Brian McManus, what Shelbourne had been doing the entire second half was picking up the loose balls. Brian McManus picked it up and hit a daisy cutter with his left foot and left Nathan Garrett's side absolutely no chance. Derry responded without really responding. They had a few half chances. A great last ditch tackle from a Shelbourne defender to deny Will Patchen what would have been a sure equaliser, and Patchen had a free kick deep and they stopped his time, which went the wide of Brenton Clark's goal. Look, it's a setback for Derry, but we just have to get back on the saddle now on Monday against Drogheda, and hopefully that we can put this defeat behind us and keep challenging Shamrock Rovers at the top of the table.
Hi Keith, just a video on the City game versus Bray last night. Disappointing 0-0 draw. City didn't play well at all. It was a very kind of hustle and bustle game. Like, City didn't create any chances till about 10 or 15 minutes to go. Barry Coffey had a great chance, alright, to score into an open goal, but the ball, he was running, his momentum took him forward, and the ball went behind him, so it was hard for him to get under the ball as such, so he took the ball over the bar. To be fair to Bray, and I said to Keith Ryan, like, they soaked up any bit of pressure that City put on Bray. Bray soaked it up very easily. Like, I was saying it at the end of I was on the people at half time, and I was saying, like, probably Gilchrist and Hakkinen, and probably the same at full time, were probably City's best players last night. Like, City kind of never looked like they were going to concede as such. I kind of don't have that fear really anymore that they're going to waste stupid goals, which is a great thing. But again, it kind of came back to, it was very similar to the Galway game in the sense that, again, like I said, if they were there till 10, 11 o'clock last night, they would have never scored. There was two incidents at the end of the game, what you'd call penalty incidents or incidents in the box. Rory Keating, for the first one, I don't know why he went down for the size of him. He should have stayed on his feet and just turned, like, he just, for the size, wouldn't he just stay on his feet? I don't know what he went on the ground for. It was just crazy. Like, it was no way it was a penalty, so I don't know why he went down. The second one with Gilchrist, from where I was standing, it looked like a penalty. Now, as I said, look, people see it from other angles and people see it closer. It mightn't have been a penalty at all. It did look like a penalty, and that was just at the end of the game. So, and to be fair, look, to Bray, as I said, they soaked everything up. So fair play to him. City won't get away with that sort of performance against Waterford on Monday. it was just all round disappointing for City. To be fair to Bray, and as I said, Keith Ryan will be able to tell me this, but the right back for Bray was outstanding last night. Well, from what I saw anyway in the game, it could be different from watching on the telly, but he didn't give Cian Bargery a sniff of the ball last night and defended very well, looked very solid, and I didn't know his name, so I apologise, but he had a great game for Bray. The atmosphere was quite poor there too last night, which was surprising. Like, there was probably about 3,000 people there, but I don't know, you could see it being one of those nights, and that's why I didn't give a prediction the other day, because I had a feeling this was going to happen, and it will happen, like, because teams will be just, they've nothing to lose and they come down to play City now. So look, hopefully, the only good thing is that hopefully they won't play as bad on Waterford Monday. Well, they won't get away with it anyway if they do. So yeah, that's really the story.
Hey guys, just finished watching Bray against away to Cork City. Unfortunately, I couldn't travel today, so watching on LOI TV, and certainly a deserved point for Bray. Very few chances in the game. Cork City kind of lacked a bit of composure, but Bray certainly in the first half they had a lot of possession, and it was fantastic to see. They were playing the ball on the deck. I thought our midfielders kept three lads in the midfield for Cork City quiet. Crowley, Coffey and Bardry as well. So it's a positive point for Bray, even though they didn't score again. But any team that goes to Turner's Cross will be absolutely delighted with a point, I'm sure. And look, Cork City probably could have won it with 3 minutes left. The ball was played across the box by Rory Keaton, and from 3 yards out, three or 4 yards out, I'm not sure it was Coffey or someone else, they seemed to get in the way of each other and they blazed the ball over the bar. Obviously would have won the game so late on. There was a small little show for a penalty in the 94th, 95th minute. Didn't really see much wrong, and then after that there was another show for a Cork City penalty, but the referee gave a free out to Bray for a challenge on Danny Blackburn, who was down in the box. A bit of a melee then, a couple of bookings, one for Kevin Knight, a couple of bookings for Cork with Gilchrist and Harrington, who came running down from his goal. Which, all in all, a good point for Bray. Hopefully, and look, you have to understand, there was no Hughie Douglas, even though he came off the bench. There was no Conor Clifford. There was no Curtis Byrne. Ben Feeney, who's out, will probably be a starter for Bray. So, positive point. Hopefully, bring it into the Longford game, get a couple of men back, and get a positive result.